everyone. So I have a new song for you to listen to. This song is by Chester's Ghost and it's called Crawling Inside. I did get this song from the Podsafe music directory, which is part of the World Podcast Network. If you like the song, you want to listen to it, download it, you can go down to the show notes where you can find a link to the song, including the link to the Podsafe music directory, which is again a part of the World Podcast Network. So without further ado, I'm going to play that song for you now.
But it's cold in my mind. Every step that I take leaves another scar behind. The mirror's cracking, can't face what's there. I'm breaking down and no one cares. Crawling inside, I'm trapped in my skin. Fighting to breathe, but I'm caving in. Crawling inside, it's a battle I hide. Screaming so loud, but I'm dying inside. The weight is crushing, can't bear the load. I'm lost in the silence on this endless road. Every word I say falls apart in my hands. I'm drowning in doubt, no one understands. Crawling inside, I'm trapped in my skin. Fighting to breathe, but I'm caving in. Crawling inside, it's a battle I hide. Screaming so loud, but I'm dying inside. The weight is crushing, can't bear the load. I'm lost in the silence on this endless road. Every word I say falls apart in my hands. I'm drowning in doubt, no one understands. Crawling inside, I'm trapped in my skin. Fighting to breathe, but I'm caving in. Crawling inside, it's a battle I hide. Screaming so loud, but I'm dying inside. I can't escape, I'm locked in this fight. I close my eyes, but there's no light. Crawling inside, but I can't get out. I'm fading away, swallowed by doubt. Crawling inside, I'm trapped in my skin. Fighting to breathe, but I'm caving in. Crawling inside, it's a battle I hide. Screaming so loud, but I'm dying inside. Inside. Inside.
Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore. We're currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, And again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed. So you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/reality times 2 and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/reality times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Welcome to Reality times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we're going to be discussing the 9th episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But before we head into that, just to piggyback off of the Patreon announcement, just a reminder, this month's true crime documentary, which is on the 3rd tier, is Escaping Twin Flames. The bonus episode from the main feed, which will be covering the first episode of the documentary only, will be on this feed if not already. Otherwise, the remaining 2 episodes will be exclusive to Patreon on the 3rd tier. But yeah, that's basically that quick thing. We do have a piece of hot goss, which will be just the one, and it's quick. So we'll be doing that. So Michelle Young, who is our, one of our bachelorettes, has married her now husband, Jack Louis, or Louis, in a timeless Minnesota wedding. So the bachelorette alum, and she's and her husband now, who's a sales consultant, who both hail from Minnesota, got married on June 7th at Woodland Glasshaus at Bavaria Downs in Chaska, Minnesota. Approximately 200 guests attended the couple's timeless wedding inside a glass atrium set beneath the canopy of trees. It's been a whirlwind of emotions, and Archie explained, get stuck from smiling so big. We knew regardless of how things turned out, it would feel like an incredibly special day. So many fun moments and funny stories. Natural light shone through the forest venue's floor to ceiling glass walls onto Michelle when she walked down the aisle. As violinist Daniel Gilbert played Love Me for the Both of Us by CJ Pham. She carried a bouquet made up of the same type of flowers in the bouquet Louis gave to her when he proposed in October 2024. Bachelorette Nation alum, who was the runner-up on season 25 of The Bachelor, and that was with what's his face? What's his name? Matt James. And then later season 18 Bachelorette wore a white wedding gown custom designed by Anne Barge, which contrasted her bridesmaids who were dressed in black. The timeless style is what really drew me in, as well as the detail and care that is put in from the team while designing a custom dress. It was many months of meetings and flying to appointments, but turned into one of the most special memories. Dressed in a tuxedo from Suit Shop, Louis had made his way down the aisle to lovers and friends. Tell me again that will be. That's a song. That song would hit different. Okay, we're not gonna sing much more than that, but I completely forgot about that song. But anyways, that song is by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys featuring Usher and Ludacris. Once Michelle reached him, they played a game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who would read their handwritten vows first. The couple then exchanged rings from Wedding Day Diamonds. Quote, my favorite thing about Michelle is the aura she brings. She has this contagious smile and laugh, and is just this magnetic person that people gravitate toward. I've loved watching how she navigates life with so much confidence. Michelle gushes, Jack always sees the best in everyone and will go out of his way to help anyone. I can open up to him about anything and also have fun with him doing absolutely anything. He's truly my partner in crime. Lewis's boss and former University of Minnesota football coach Mike Sherrills officiated the wedding. Cheryl's twin daughters, Lila and Cecilia, were the flower girls. After the bride and groom said I do, they walked down the aisle together as Drake's best I ever had played. The pair made a pact to stay side by side the entire evening. We wanted our day to be very intentional. It's easy to get caught up in the planning of it all and not transition into the moment. So we made sure to plan small moments aside with each other. They shared their first dance to Hate That I Love You by Rihanna. Why would you want to dance to I Hate That I Love You? But anyways, by Rihanna featuring Neo, a song written by Neo. This song is meaningful to Michelle and Luis or Leas, whatever. Leas Leas. Yeah, that's it. Because it played in the car the first night they met, which resulted in a special moment of them belting the song out together. For the wedding, Michelle told people that she was not was most excited for dancing until her feet fell off, and everyone did just that. Embracing Lea's Italian roots, partygoers dined family style with catering from D'Amico Hospitality. We felt this would bring our two families together by sharing a meal. The couple then skipped the wedding cake and went straight to the dessert table. The bride has quite the sweet tooth, so she couldn't have just one sweet treat. Cheesecake, key lime pie, butterscotch panna cotta, tiramisu, limoncello, and more were up for grabs. Later in the night, Young and Elias surprised their guests by having Parlor's food truck pull up with tasty burgers. Wedding planning and floral designs were by the Artful Events and Design. Ream Photography captured photos of the big day while Branson Maxwell took videos. Young and Leas were introduced by a mutual friend. They made their relationship Instagram official in October 2023. Joint posting left of a couple photos alongside Michelle's sweet caption, hit the jackpot with you. In January 2024, they made their first public relationship debut at the Golden Bachelor alums Gary Turner and Teresa's wedding. People exclusively confirmed that the couple got engaged in October 24th, 2024 at Centennial Lakes in Edina, Minnesota. Leas popped the question with a 3.56 carat emerald cut diamond ring after making Michelle believe that she was taking part in a commercial shoot. But yeah, we'll end it there. But congratulations to her. Happy she found a good man who was it Nate and didn't look like Chris Brown. It doesn't, y'all. I knew Nate was trouble. The man's too pretty. Too pretty. And he knows it. That's the biggest problem. Not that he's pretty, but that he knows it, you know? Anyways, that's basically that. Let's move on to the reason we're here, and that's to do episode 9 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So, y'all, we are headed to NOLA. Desi tells Macy, I have to get surgery for partial thyroid removal. She apparently, after season 1 came out, had nurses come to her to basically say, it looked like she had an enlarged thyroid, which is really funny because, from my understanding, that's kind of similar to what happened with Tara Musa as well. I think it was more the eye situation, and they told him, like, go get that checked. And I think he had cancer, or maybe it was the thyroid as well. I can't remember what my mom told me, but it's really interesting when that happens. So anyway, they said that they think that it could have been cancer, but they won't know until they do the surgery because they're going to basically do biopsy on the thyroid. So we'll see how that goes. Taylor, although they are heading to NOLA, Taylor is deciding to not. You kidding? I'm not gonna let Demi, I'm not gonna let that bitch stop me from going to NOLA. The fuck? Anyways, they are all at NOLA sans Taylor, and they're getting a chef making them authentic NOLA dinner. It looked fantastic. But while they're sitting at the table eating this fantastic food, then everyone ends up getting a video from, wait for it, Jen, to everyone. Weird. But in the video, she basically says, like, I'm struggling, I'm hurting, and I think I hurt others. And we know her hurting. She hurts others. And she says, I'm so sorry. And that's, I think, really good of her to kind of have this self reflection of, I'm hurting. I realize when I'm hurting, I hurt others. Hurt people hurt people. And I realize that, and I am sorry. And it's gonna still take work and time, but I think the first thing is the accountability, and she's showing it. Layla says, as someone who has struggled with mental health, I want to give her grace. Of course, you want to give anyone grace that's dealing with mental health issues. And Miranda says, I do know she feels sorry and wants to apologize to Jesse, and I guess maybe even to me for kind of how she acted, especially I think to Jesse though, because she said some shit. Um, so like she does kind of, and I believe that she does. But I could see in the moment while they're kind of talking about this, kind of saying, let's give this woman grace with because she's really struggling. You can kind of see on Demi's face, the stink face, the face of I don't give a fuck that she's going through something. She, yeah, like basically, right? So to me, it says, like, I don't buy it. The fuck? Really, honestly, to me, I hope you never experience what Jen is dealing with or what anyone else has kind of dealt with here. Because to sit there and really say, I don't buy it, you have to be by far the worst person on the fucking planet to not have any kind of sympathy. But we're going to call Taylor a narcissist. We're going to call Taylor a manipulator. Honey, you need to look in the mirror because I think you're talking about your damn self. Michaela is like, this is a little bit harsh. Really saying like you're not buying this because what? And Macy says, I don't trust telling anyone anything in this group. And to me, really takes offense to this. She's like, well, of course you can say things in the group, but how? Because anything that is said in this group in a way to be, supportive or whatever, it just gets thrown back in your face. And now Jen does do that to Jesse. But we're also seeing that happen here with Demi basically being like, I don't buy it. Fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? It's gross. Anyways, enough of the heavy. Tell me movie that's from. We're going to a burlesque show. And I'm like, oh shit, is this the same show that Monty and Stevie went to? Because I got questions. But while they're there, I guess they're like, I don't know if we knew the definition of a burlesque show. I think we all watched that movie Burlesque with Cher and Christina Aguilera and thought like that's what burlesque is. But sometimes burlesque can mean our clothes are gonna drop down to the floor. That's what happens. And we're like, oh shit. I did not expect this. Then Layla takes a swig of a cigarette that came out of a woman's vagina, and everyone's like, Layla, that was in her vagina. Oh, there could have been juices. Ugh. Listen, no. First of all, A, they really shouldn't be doing that. Maybe it really wasn't in her vagina. I don't know. B, ugh. They take it a step fucking further to basically say she could have had a yeast infection. Ooh, I really hope if she did, though, that they wouldn't do that. But then again, some people's yeast infections, sometimes you wouldn't even know if you're lucky, or, the beginning stages of that yeast infection, you're not gonna know shit. Ooh. So then we were with Taylor taking a break from the burlesque, and we're with her, Leanne, and her sister, and she tells them what Demi kind of said to her. And they're like, "Oh, she's a bully." Yep. Yeah, she is. She is a bully. Fan favorite, my crack. And they're basically saying, like, they would have, like, just gone after her. Agreed. But back in NOLA, Layla asks, "Can you see yourself being friends with Taylor?" Basically saying to Demi flat out says no. Like, why? And she says, "Okay, well, what about Whitney?" And they're like, "Oh, we're repairing." So why can you repair your friendship with Whitney, who, if in my mind, has really done a lot worse? Well, we can't forgive Taylor. Or at least just have the beginning stages of forgiveness. But Layla kind of says, it's so weird because, like, she was team fuck Whitney. So all of a sudden she's like, well, we're working on it. Then they're kind of like saying with Taylor that maybe she just needs to focus on herself because she probably feels erratic with Dakota. And to me, it's like, I think she just chases chaos. And I think you are just also basking in the chaos. So by acting like Taylor's the only one, I think you do too. Anyways, the next morning, Layla, I have so much to say here. Layla is like, let's play a game. We're gonna play pregnancy roulette. What? What is pregnancy roulette? What does that mean? And Macy's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. I'm not ready to say anything to anybody. She doesn't want anyone to know she's pregnant. And to me, it's like, I hate taking tests, which I can totally understand. I too hate taking tests, like even ovulation tests. I'm tired of seeing the results not be what I want it to be. I'm tired of taking a pregnancy test and not also being the results I want it to be. So I understand that. It's exhausting mentally to do these things. And Lana's like, oh, let's do it because I'm late. Bitch, take a test by yourself. We don't need to be roped into your game. I think this is really insensitive on, I don't know whose part this is, if it's Layla's producers or what. This is really insensitive for the mere fact of so many women struggle with fertility. But when you have someone in the group who has been fairly open about her insecurities with fertility and her struggles with fertility, this is inconsiderate. And I hate Demi, but this is inconsiderate. So they're kind of doing it. They piss on it, and they just put it in the middle, I guess. And someone ends up picking up a positive test. So whose test is it? We all know it's Michaela's. It has to be Michaela's. And they're like, listen, this person who's pregnant, it's dark. Okay. This person is pregnant, not just a little pregnant, but pregnant. Okay. Then, twist of the century, there are two positive tests. Okay. So I'm going to assume Michaela only peed on one stick. So who else is pregnant? Who else is pregnant? Jesse's like, if you know it's you, please say something because at this point, we're thinking about Demi. This is what we're thinking about, which is very fair. I think this is unfair to her. Um, so the pregnancies, as we know, one is Macy, the other, y'all, it's Michaela. Michaela is pregnant. But now, when they should be happy about being pregnant themselves, they feel bad because Demi is crying. She's literally holding one of the tests, being like, trying to will it into existence that it's her test. But it's not her test. And she kind of says, like, I want this to be my test, but it can't be my test. I never get a positive test. So it can't be me. And that's really heartbreaking. Um, but Michaela and Macy feel like they can't be happy. And I said straight up, Layla should have never had this game being played. I think, again, she just was not thinking. Macy then tells Michaela, it's me. Like, I'm the other one that's pregnant. She's like, I'm 2 weeks pregnant at this point, or they're 2 weeks behind you. And Michaela's like, how did I miss this? Well, she says you know, unless you're talking about it, I guess, right? But then they go to Demi to basically say, listen, it's us. We're the ones that are pregnant. Just to kind of like calm her down and get her thinking in a different headspace. And they say to her, which again, I have sometimes such issue hearing because like, thank you for saying that and I appreciate it, but when is my time? When is my turn? I don't want to constantly keep hearing it will be your turn. And that's what they say here. And I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of like it'll happen, it'll happen. Will it though? Anyway, then we're with Taylor and she's thinking, I think I need to end it officially with Dakota. They need to have to stop having sex. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. It's like I don't see myself getting back with him. Good. We don't actually see, or did we see the conversation? We might have seen the conversation. I'll leave it alone for now. We are exploring NOLA. We get beignets from Cafe de Monde. Marmande. Yeah, Monde. Fuck. It looks so good. I want a beignet so bad. But then Jesse and Demi talk over some beignets, and Demi says, listen, I never said that you had, bad color or you bad hair. But I felt like you took business from me, Jessie says, which she did. She might be out here being like, well, I don't really think you're bad at anything. Meanwhile, in her brain, she's like, this bitch is so dumb. Um, she says, I'm wondering if Demi is the cancer in the group. Yeah. Yeah, that she is. Get rid of her. And she says that I'm going to keep my distance. So then we kind of start talking about religion being sealed. Miranda says when Chase left the church, he took his records. But the other thing is that our children are still sealed to him, but I'm not. I am not sealed to him. I'm, I guess, in limbo or whatever. But her children, because again, if you remember, they do believe, Mormonism, they believe when you die, it's, your little section, your little hotel room up in the sky. And in that hotel room, you're going to have the people you married. So we go to dinner. Jesse asks, are you inviting everyone to your party? Taylor is not invited, obviously. But since we're talking about it, should she even be in the group anymore? Whoa, where are we headed here? We're literally taking this really too far. Everyone is like, we can take this and kind of see how it goes. Well, if she's in, then I'm out. Just like that. Bye to me. It was really nice knowing you. Get the fuck out the group. Taylor isn't going anywhere. For what? Michaela is like, how would it have been if I did that with Whitney? Like, you want her out. No, like, you just don't do that. But they're like, she is not an issue. No one here is agreeing with Demi. And the thing that you'll kind of see in the next episode is how delusional she really is. Like, she really does truly think that everyone's on her side. Everyone's going to question her. Clearly, Taylor is a threat to Demi. It's clear. It's so clear. But more on that in the next episode. But that is it for this episode. Now, just a quick announcement here at the end. Episode 10 is going to be slightly delayed. Probably won't get that until next week because I'm planning to record that with Ava. So we're going to be talking Secret Lives, episode 10, but that won't be recorded until Friday, which means that most likely will not be out until next week. But don't worry, we have other things we're going to talk about. We have going to work on Sister Wives, 90 Day Fiance. We have that coming shortly. So we'll work on those things in the meantime. But that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps, every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.